And welcome. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. And
Amen.
thank you. And I'm going to go into the screen share, which I hope you will see briefly. So just to catch up a little bit, we are reading this poem that Moses was told to compose as a testimony to the Jewish people as to what their future was going to be depending on their behavior. So he's always said to them, you have a choice, life or death, choose life. And we've had other kinds of statements that in Deuteronomy that clearly say, the blessing and the curse. And this is done in poetic way. And I think the hope was that he would teach this to the Jewish people, and that if they sang this, if it became something like a poem that they could recite, perhaps it would be an insurance against their having a very poor future. And unfortunately, of course, we know apparently it wasn't sufficiently effective. And here we are in the poem, in the middle of the poem, where basically Moses is telling them in God's name what is going to happen to them if should they break their word, break their covenant, and there will be all kinds of bad repercussions as a result of this. So that's what we're in the middle of right now. So let's take a look. We're on Kaf Daled right here. So I'm going to look at it's in poetic language. The Hebrew is very difficult, and all kinds of vocabulary that's unusual vocabulary to make this possible. Mize Rav. So again, these terms, Rav means a famine, right? So wasting away through famine, Ulichume Reshef, right? Ravaging plague. Again, these are not, Reshef is not a common word at all. Let's just keep going. Veketiv Meriri, and cutting down pestilence that from poison. Mar means bitter. It can also refer to poison. Also, in doing the research on this, there was a demon with this name of Ketiv Meriri. However, regardless, we're talking about destructive forces. The Shein Behemot, and the tooth, in other words, biting of animals. Ashalach bam, I will send amongst them. So God is describing all these horrible things that are going to happen. Im chamat, with the venom, zochale afar, with those that creep in the dust. And the truth is that Onkelos is quite helpful here. He does try to interpret and explain these particular words, but we'll stick to the Rashi for the time being. Now, Rashi's very busy here. Mize Rav, right? So he says, Onkelos Tergame. Onkelos translates this into the Aramaic. He gives his actual words, Nefiche Kafan. There it is, right here in Onkelos. Nefiche Kafan. Chafan means a hunger or famine, right? Famine. And nifiche, I think it's related to a Hebrew word that also means, in other words, the swelling that comes about from starvation. The ein li aid, and Rashi personally says, I have no aid mochiach alav. I don't have any other example in scripture to interpret this. This is all, because so often, Rashi will give other examples from his incredible knowledge of the Bible, where he can show what words mean, because he can put them in different contexts and show how they support his interpretation or the traditional interpretation. However, he goes on to say, right, Umishmo shel Rabbi Moshe Hadarshan, he's mentioned one of his teachers before, Moshe Hadarshan, Moshe the interpreter, Mitulosha, Toulouse, forgive me, Moshe Hadarshan from Toulouse. Shamati, I heard. Seirei Rav. Okay. I'm not sure what he means here, but it could be She'irei Rav, that one of the symptoms, perhaps, of famine, Adam Kachush, although Seirei can also, unfortunately, it also refers to demons, but I don't know that that means here. Okay. Adam kachush, this means like a person who is weakened. Megadel sa'ar al basaro. He will grow hair on his flesh. So here he's understanding se'ire as sa'ar, right? That this word means se'ire, perhaps mizerav, he understands as hair. He's interpreting as hair. So here we go. So you can see here, mize, lashon arami, he says in Aramaic, the word mize means sa'ar, right? In Aramaic, the word sa'ar, referring to hair, is mazia. Dahava mahapech b'mazia, right? So in other words, this person, I assume it means, right, he starts to grow over with hair. So Lauren, if I'm misinterpreting this, please let me know, but that's how I'm understanding.
I'm trying to find the right chapter and verse. I see you're on 34. I don't know what
32, no,
chapter.
32.
Chapter
It's
32,
chapter
34.
32.
I thought I looked there,
It's
but
actually 24, verse
oh,
24.
24.
Chapter 30.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's why I can't find it.
Yeah, that would make it difficult, I must admit.
Just a second. Okay, so is that Revi'i or Chamish? It's
I'm not sure. I'd have to go back.
24. Okay, they will sprout hair, that one.
Yep. Okay. So obviously, I was on the
Okay.
right track there. Okay.
Okay,
That's
that
it.
was, yeah, okay, go ahead.
Good. Ulechume, right? Lechume Reshef. He says Hashedim. Interesting. So Rashi says the demons Nilchamu Bahem are battling them. Shne'emar, as it states, and now, of course, he's giving support where he finds another verse, right? In Job 5, Uvne Reshef, Yagbihu, I finished the verse, I think, Yagbihu off, right? So, in other words, we're saying here he's referring, right? Bnei Reshef means, and the demons, literally, of course, it means sons of demons, but I think it just simply means demons. Yagbihu off means, literally, it means they fly high. And I think we could understand that, metaphorically. And he says, Vehem Shedim, and that refers to demons. So we're talking about forces, right? Outside forces that create havoc, essentially. Ketev Meri.
Oh,
Go ahead.
so Rabbi, I just want to mention when I mentioned about sprouting hair, that was just the first line of the verse. But the Rashi before the demons Rashi, it says turning over his hair.
Okay. Yeah,
And
but
also for the demons, mine says demons fought against them, as scripture states, and flying creatures fly upwards.
okay. Okay. Again, even the English there, I'm trying to have to interpret that. What do they mean by that? You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, it just says
and,
these are
and
demons. It's from Yov.
yeah, Job. That's Job. So interesting. I mean, so again, what it means by turning. I mean, they're literally translating mahapech, okay, which I can translate literally as well, but I don't think it's helpful. So I think what Rashi's trying to say is, they're producing all this hair, is what they're saying, as a result of the weakness that they have, etc. So Ketev Meriri, but thank you. Ketev Meriri, ukritut, shade. So kritut means, again, destruction, annihilation of a shade, a demon, shishmo meriri. So he's saying the ketev refers to destruction of this demon whose name is meriri. Ketev krita. He says the word ketev means annihilation. kamo, and he gives an example. Again, Rashi always is going to try.
Here it uses excision.
Yeah, I know. But again, that's essentially what excision means, if you want to check it out in the dictionary.
Yeah, but excision is annihilation through cutting.
Yes, that's the association, but it also has to do with cutting off, meaning
Mm-hmm.
so really meaning annihilation.
Mm-hmm.
So
I just looked up Reshef
yes,
because that's the name of one of my husband's grad students. So I
wow,
want to see what it means. Apparently
wow,
it means, yeah, it means spark.
interesting, interesting. I'll pop that in. I think I'll write that in here. Thank you. That's helpful. Let's see. Yeah, okay. All right, let's see. So that's a modern Hebrew translation, Shirabeth?
I'm looking on Morphix actually, which gives, I don't know,
Did you say reshech or reshef?
That's
Reshef
with a
with
th.
a
Okay, with the f.
basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it says here. Yeah, I didn't hear it right.
Although there's also a note here at the bottom that says Reshef is the name of a Canaanite god
Mm,
who is mentioned sometimes in Phoenician and Aramaic writings.
interesting.
But it comes from the word. I mean, the word literally comes from esh nitzot shalhevet,
Okay.
spark or
Would
flame.
yes. Yeah.
Which do fly up.
Yes, they do. Okay, I mean, I think clearly this is begging much more research as far as this is concerned, but it's also interesting how it's mentioned here. So let's go on. Okay, we're here in here. Okay, so so he's quoting. He says ketef has to do with cutting off or annihilation, and he gives an example in Hosea 13. Ehe kitvecha sheol. So I'd have to look up the translation of this, but basically it's saying the netherworld, Sheol, is going to be where you're cut off to. Lauren, again, I'm appealing to your translation there.
Yeah, and it says kotvacha here.
Okay.
Kotvacha. Let's
That,
see. I will decree the grave upon you, it says.
okay, so he's
Oh,
trying.
sorry, Kotavka. Here it says Kotavka.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I was looking at it wrong. Yeah,
Write
Kotavka.
that in. Let's pop that in there. That's the translation of the Hosea verse.
I will decree the grave upon you. And then the parenthetical note says in Hebrew, the word gezerah, the root is gimel zayin resh, to cut.
Yes.
Hence, its primary meaning to cut.
Okay. That must be in a different word, but anyway. Okay.
Well, they're talking about because it's translated as decree, and it's like using cut. I think it's kind of confusing.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going. Thank you. I'm sorry. Vishen behemot, the tooth of animals, and this is now from the Sifrei Maaseh Haya. It so happened. It actually occurred. There was an occurrence. Vahayu harichalim, that where the ewes, that is the ewe sheep, noshchin umamitim, they were actually biting and killing individuals, right? And you never expect sheep to be doing that. And that's the reason why it says behemot, because as you know, behema usually refers specifically to domesticated animals, to cattle. Chamat, that is, chama could be the poison, zochalei afar, of those that creep in the dust. Eris, the chashim, eris is poison of snakes, hamit halchim al gechonam, who go on their bellies, al ha'afar, on the dust, kemayim, similar to water, as zochalim ala aretz, that flow on the earth. So, nice. Zechila, this word zechila, Lashon merutzat hamayim. It has the meaning of the flow of water. That's what zochel means. Al ha'afar, on the earth, on the dust. V'chein kol merutzat davar hamishavshef al ha'afar. And likewise, any running thing which is rubbing on the dust, the holech, and continues. In other words, that's continually streaming over the dust. So this is going to be where we're stopping today, and with God's help, I will be prepared tomorrow to move on. This is going to come to an end. All these curses and these horrible consequences, eventually we're going to see this come to an end, but for an interesting reason, as you'll see in the poetry. So I'm going to stop the share, and if any of you have any more comments,
Well, I just sent you the further I didn't finish reading that note. It just was getting more into grammar of cut and decree and all that. And but it's interesting.
okay.
So it says I had mentioned that the root of gezer to cut.
Yeah.
Many such roots in Hebrew in the Bible, the Mishnah, and the Targum all bear the first meaning of cutting and the second meaning of a final permanent decision or ruling.
Right.
Among them are, and it doesn't have vowels here, but one is chet lamed tate. Then the next is karet, which we know means cut.
Yeah.
Then chet resh sadi. Then
Echrat.
sadi mem taf.
Mhm.
Then gezer.
Yeah.
Then chet kuf kuf. And then pesek or pasuk.
Yeah, we say about a psak,
Yeah.
saktin. Yes, and in the Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur liturgy, we talk about gzar dinam, right?
Right.
In other words, their verdict.
The government.
No, in this,
A judgment, sorry.
correct. It means
Judgment, yeah.
right, or their punishment sometimes. Okay, we'll stop the recording here.